In today's video, we are going to cover the top 10 skills जो हमें स्कूल या कॉलेज में सिखाया तो नहीं जाता but I think are very important to learn in your late teens or your early 20s because these can literally change your life. Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyaan. My name is Somi. I am an IIT Delhi and ISB Hyderabad grad, and on this channel I share my experiences, my career journeys, mistakes, successes, failures so that it can help some of you take away something from it. Before starting with the actual content of today's video, I wanted to let you guys know that day after tomorrow, that is 29th of August, I am doing a masterclass on MBA essay writing. So if you are applying for your MBA this year and struggling with your essays because round 1 applications are almost closing, then you might want to join the masterclass. Links are going to be there in the description box and the first comment. What we'll be doing in that session is I'll be breaking down the most important, like the essay questions that come in the top MBA business schools. You will essentially end the session with frameworks which you can use for the top 4 or 5 categories of essays that the top business schools usually ask you to write. Okay, now starting with the content of today's video. Number 1 skill that I wanted to talk about, and this shouldn't come to you as a surprise, is personal finance. Now, there's a reason why personal finance is like ट्रेंडिंग एंड ओवर ट्रेंडिंग दीज डेज. हमें बचपन से ये तो सिखाया जाता है कि यू नीड मनी टू मेंटेन अ गुड लाइफस्टाइल, टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट, टू स्टैंड इन योर ओन फीट. बट हमें सिखाया ये नहीं जाता कि हाउ वी कैन मैनेज दैट मनी, how we can lead a good lifestyle with that money, how we can budget our day-to-day expenses, how we can plan for our future with the kind of money that we are earning. There are 2 main aspects of personal finance according to me. Number 1 is budgeting, which means that whatever money you are earning at the moment, you optimize the usage of the funds for meeting your daily needs, for meeting your wants like a vacation. So you meet your needs as well as save some for the rainy days. The second aspect of personal finance, which I think is very important, is investing. Now, learning how to sort of invest your money and grow it over time. So over here, concepts like time value of money, the effect of compounding, understanding risk and return and how they are correlated, these things become very important. The second skill that I think is very important for us to learn early on is fitness. Now, it might not be a skill per se, but in India there is so much focus and attention on academics, on forcing young children to just study and study. Play is considered a bad thing, that you're wasting your time. But honestly speaking, fitness is like the way of life, right? And now that I am in my 30s, I realize it even more that me as a person who has not been into fitness too much, it's a struggle for me every day to continue to better myself and continue to be fit. So it's a difficult skill to adopt late, which is why it should be learned early. Plus, you should understand concepts of how you are what you eat, how to be mindful and conscious of what you're putting inside your body, the different kind of workouts that are there, which one is important for what kind of stuff. Like cardio is just one part of workout, but I feel like a lot of us just focus on movement and cardio, but strength training is equally important for your lifestyle. A lot of women's issues actually call for heavy strength training. So it's important to understand all these concepts of fitness and identify what is right for your kind of lifestyle. The third skill I want to talk about, थोड़ा सा हटके है, is actually coding. Now, a lot of people obviously don't know coding, but why I would like everyone to pick up basics of coding is because the world is going digital, the world is going towards the technological side. At any point of time, if you think that you want to solve a problem that the world is facing, it is very highly likely that it's going to be technology based, and if you know a little bit about coding, then it'll just be easier for you to visualize a solution for some of those problems. Learning coding also gives you a little bit of new perspective towards problem solving as well. It tells you a lot about logic, and the second thing is little bit of knowledge in coding is also so helpful in automating things and increasing efficiency in your day-to-day life. Some simple things like Excel macros can help you be more efficient on Microsoft Excel, for example. Writing small codes can help you build a website. So that's what I'm talking about. A little knowledge about coding can go a long way. You don't need to be an expert, but just in case you find coding interesting and you want to become an expert, then I can guarantee you that the coding jobs these days get you a lot of money, especially in the tech-focused companies. The fourth skill I think is very important for all of us to master is Microsoft Excel and just in general a data-driven mindset. आजकल के ज़माने में हम कुछ भी करते हैं ना, छोटा सा भी चीज करते हैं, it's all via technology and everything is generating so much data. It can be qualitative data or it can be quantitative data, and the whole world is moving towards data generated insights. For example, in management consulting only, there used to be a lot of focus on strategy, strategic thinking, FAFI framework, but nowadays it's become very tactical. All clients, for example, I am a management consultant and I can tell you from experience that all of our clients wants to see what the data is showing. Everyone wants to build their strategy around data insights. And why I say MS Excel is because Microsoft Excel is the most basic form how you can start using data and getting comfortable with numbers. You can use Microsoft Excel to sort of build spreadsheets and visualize data and sort of just in general plan out things as well. Just for example, a few days ago, I was working on, building a retirement plan for me by the age of say 40 or 45. As soon as I started putting in the numbers on an Excel sheet, like what is my kharcha going to look like when I retire? What is my kharcha today? How am I earning today? How much return will I be able to generate on a year-to-year basis? As soon as I put those things on an Excel, it gave me an instant picture of, oh, this is doable, or maybe, oh, I really need to work hard and earn maybe 1 or 2 lakhs extra every year to be able to retire by the age of 45. The fifth skill I want to talk about is comfort with technology. Now, I have been telling this from the start of this video that technology is taking over the world. It already almost has, and the trend is only going up. So it's very important for all of us to accept the fact essentially what technology is showing us is simplified way of living, like an easier way of living. And if you are not comfortable with technology and for example all your peers are, you are just going to be at a constant disadvantage. मतलब gone are the days when पेरेंट्स जैसे हमारे नहीं बोलते थे कि फेसबुक हमें समझ नहीं आता, बहुत ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी है, ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग हम तो कर नहीं सकते. Gone are the days, guys. You are young and you need to be comfortable with technology, and I don't even think it's that difficult for us because we are born in this era of technology, right? But consciously trying to use technology to your benefit is also important. छोटी छोटी चीजें automate करना, आजकल इतनी सारी apps आ गई है. Like before, you literally had to code out a website, but today there are website builders which you can just pay for and drag and drop things and build a beautiful website in a matter of like hours. पहले हम notebook में notes लिखते थे, and now digital note making has become so big that you can literally preserve those notes forever. You can refer back to your notes 10 years down the lane. Life is changing and we all need to embrace it as soon as we can. The sixth skill I want to talk about is organization, which can also be basically time management, productivity, etc. These days lifestyles are becoming so complex and there are so many distractions that to get anything done, a lot of energy and focus is needed, which is why it's become so important for us to be organized in our own head, to manage things more efficiently, to plan plan out things. And if you start doing these things formally, like making a to-do list for the day and then ticking off all the things that you have done, planning ahead, you will automatically and instantly notice how much of your time has been freed up. Like, I think हम लोग organization skills को काफी underestimate करते हैं, and I personally have come to realize it only, as I've grown. And today I'm doing like so many things, right? Like, I have a full-time job, I'm running 2 YouTube channels, उसके साथ साथ बहुत सारी आसपास की चीजें भी मैं करती हूँ. Like, I have launched a course. If it was not for organization and productivity apps and like consciously taking steps towards it, I would not have been able to do so much stuff. Once you have written down your goals and you are planning for it, your probability of being able to achieve them also becomes like 10 times higher. Even if your goal is like spending time with your family, it doesn't have to be like an academic or a professional goal. The 7th skill that I now want to talk about is selling. Now, when I say selling, I don't mean in the traditional sense like selling a product or a service literally, but also things like selling yourself, selling an idea. The whole idea is, if you have value to provide to the other person in the form of an idea or a skill set or a product or a service, whatever mode that is, how do you convince the other person that yes, the thing that I am trying to provide you is actually valuable? So a lot of skills are sort of hidden in the process of selling. One is negotiation. Second is good communication, because you have to, in a simplified way, communicate value that you are going to bring into the other person. Even things like personal branding is sort of selling yourself, right? A resume is a form of selling your skills. During a job interview, you're selling yourself to a company or a college. So a lot of times when we are not consciously trying to sell, even then we are selling something or the other to the other person. Which is why I think selling is such an important skill for all of us to learn, because we all need to pitch ourselves and speak for ourselves. No one else is going to do that for us, right? The 8th skill that I'm going to talk about is communication skills. Of course, day-to-day conversations is communication, but also conversation in a business setting, formal conversations. When you are writing an email, that's a form of written conversation. When you are making a presentation to send to a client, sell an idea, pitch an idea, or maybe like, a solution, create a solution and send it to your client. When you're making that presentation, that itself is also communication. So it can be written communication, it can be verbal communication, casual communication. And a lot of times I see people mistaking communication as public speaking, but that's not really the case. Okay, communication to matlab it's a basic thing. As a human being, we need to communicate, and the entire essence of good communication is essentially trying to translate an idea that is in your mind to the other person in the most simplified way, so that whatever you are trying to say, the other person also understands exactly that. Now, this is the underlying how you do that. There are obviously so many ways of doing that, and learning that and sort of bettering yourself, definitely something that one should invest time and energy in during their late teens, if not at school itself. The 9th skill I want to talk about is networking. Now, we may not realize, but life is all about networking. Consciously या unconsciously हम सब network करते हैं. We have our own set of friends, we have our own set of peers, bosses, colleagues, just people who we interact with every day, and that is exactly a network. And the world is running via networking. We may or may not realize that. There's a reason why a doctor's kid tends to become a doctor, why nepotism exists in Bollywood. When your parents or when someone in your network has access to a certain number of resources or access to a particular skill, you automatically get access to that skill as well. Like, you already have a defined path, you know how to go about it. Now, the job market, of course, works purely based on networking. These days, you will hardly ever find a job if it is not via a referral. And how can you get a referral? It is purely via networking, which is why I think the concept of networking should be introduced to people at a very early age. Now, I got to know about this term called networking only when I was getting into an MBA school, which was pretty late, right, in my life. But if I had known about networking from an earlier stage, I would have consciously been able to invest my time and energy in building relationships and then also maintaining those relationships. These days everything is interconnected, right? You as a person will need help from a lot of your peers. A lot of your peers will need help from you, and not just peers, you will need help from a lot of seniors as well. So how do you approach these people without being annoying or creepy? The underlying is networking. You try building a relationship, you invest in that relationship for a long time, and eventually you are able to manifest the benefits of it. So, 10th and the last skill that I want to talk about is research. Now, this is very obvious, right? Like, literally everything is there on the internet these days. All we need to do is find out a way to dig that information out from the internet for our consumption. This method in marketing is called secondary research. I think there are two very key benefits of research. Number one is, of course, access to all the information at your fingertips. I mean, I'll give you my example. I have literally learned about everything about building a YouTube channel from scratch, editing videos. I also have a course now in the market, how to create a course, how to do digital marketing. Everything about the online space I have learned via research. What does this tell you? That you have all of this information. People are just sharing everything that they know. They're crowdsourcing, like everything is there on the internet. All you have to do is put in your work and get that information out. The second benefit of research, it's not a benefit, it's like a basic etiquette, is that you are expected to do research these days. Yeah, matlab, if you are not doing your research, honestly, you are just being lazy. For example, when you write a cold email to a person, a recruiter, and you write a very random email without knowing that person, without knowing the company that he's working for, well, you can easily find that information out from LinkedIn. If you are doing that, then people will not really help you because they can see that you are not putting in any effort. They'll take you for a lazy person who is not serious about their own development. Then why should a third person come and help you, right? In fact, market research ya fir consulting, maybe one of our work streams in a strategy project is always desktop research. In a formal setting as well, we do a lot of desktop research to find out good findings and insights for our clients that we work for. So those are all the skills that I wanted to talk about in this video. If you think I have missed out an important skill, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know it as well. And if you like this video, तुम्हें पता ही है क्या करना है. Please hit the like button, and if you are interested in the kind of content that I create, consider subscribing by hitting the red button below, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Till then, bye.